but she smiled so sweetly and looked right in my eyes. "Ellie, sweetness, you know I love you, right?" "Yes, Mama." She nodded. "I didn't do a lot of good in this world, baby, but one thing I did perfectly was you. You're such a good, smart girl, Ellie. You don't forget that, okay? No matter what, you don't forget that." "Okay, Mama," I whispered. I felt even more scared, and I didn't know why. My mama stood and then adjusted my sweater with the missing buttons and unraveling hem. She frowned at my shoes, her eyes staying on the hole in my toe for a few more seconds before she straightened up, taking my hand and leading me toward the door of the ugly little house. Mama knocked, and I heard a man shouting on the other side of the door. He sounded angry, and his voice scared me. I pressed myself into my mama's side. She put her arm around me, and we waited. Mama felt so hot, and now her whole body was shaking. She leaned into me, and I worried we both might topple over. I knew she needed a doctor, but she'd stopped going to the doctor months ago, even though she didn't seem to be getting any better. Weren't doctors supposed to make you better? After a minute, the door opened, and a tall man stood in front of us with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. My mama gasped. I peeked up at him, and he stared down at my mama and me.
"Yeah."
My mama ran her hand over my hair. "Hi, Brad." The man was quiet as he sucked on his cigarette, and then his eyes widened, and he finally said,
"Cynthia?"
I felt my mama relax, and I looked up at her. She had a big smile on her face, the one she used when she was trying to convince Mrs. Cadero to let us pay our rent late. I took another peek at Brad. My daddy. He was tall like the soap opera actors, but that was the only thing they had in common. His hair was long and sort of greasy looking, and his teeth were yellow and crooked. But we had the same blue eyes, and the same color hair. Golden brown, my mama called it.
"Well, I'll be damned. What are you doing here?"
"May we come in?" We went into the house, and I looked around at the old furniture, no better than the furniture Mama and I had at home. I heard my mama take a deep breath. "Is there somewhere we can talk?" Brad squinted his eyes and looked back and forth between my mama and me before he said,
"Sure. Come on in the bedroom."
"Elle, you sit on the couch, sweetness. I'll be right back," my mama said, seeming to weave slightly before she caught herself. The red spots on her cheeks were even brighter. I sat down and stared at the TV in front of me. There was a football game on, but the sound was muted, so I could hear my mama and daddy talking from down the hall. "She's yours, Brad."
"What the fuck do you mean she's mine? You told me you got an abortion."
"Well, I didn't. I couldn't. I knew you didn't want her, but I couldn't get rid of my baby." I heard my daddy swear, and a big lump formed in my throat. My daddy hadn't wanted me. At all. He hadn't even known my mama kept me until just now. He hadn't even known I was alive. My mama hadn't told me different, but in my mind I kept hoping there was a good reason my daddy had left. I kept hoping that when he saw me, he'd take me in his arms and tell me everything was going to be okay, and that he was proud to have me for a daughter. Like my mama says to me all the time. And then he'd find a doctor who could make my mama better. She's a really good girl, Brad. You see how beautiful she is. And she's smart, too. She's real sweet and well-behaved.
"What do you want, Cynthia? Money? I don't got no money. I got nothing for you."
"I don't want money. I need you to take her. I'm dying, Brad." Her voice lowered so I almost couldn't hear it. "I have stage 4 cancer. I have such little time. Weeks, maybe just days. We've been evicted from our apartment. I thought a neighbor would take Ellie, but she's gone, and I don't have anyone else. You're all Ellie has in this world now." My heart tightened inside my chest, and as the room spun around me, a tear ran down my cheek. "No, Mama, no." I didn't want to hear this. I didn't want this to be true. I didn't want my mama to fly to heaven like a bird. I want her to stay here with me.